Alex. I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Melody.
And welcome to Double Trouble. Today we're taking a look at fast food fear. Should you be afraid of fast food?
Some.
Might be. This game is actually about you. I think there's monsters, right? You're serving monsters as fast as you can. This is a cooperative speed game. So as quickly as you possibly can, you're going to be trying to basically collect cards to feed monsters so that they can eat. Here's how it plays. The goal of this game is to feed different customers, and so you're going to have different monster customers. So here we have Aaron, Dick, and Igor, and each of these guys is going to want a certain amount of food. So this guy wants a donut, pizza, fries, and a burger. These are all monster versions of those, of course. The one at the top is usually rare. For example, there's only 3 donut cards in a deck, while I believe there are 8 of the burger cards in a deck. So there's usually, they want one rare thing from the deck, have some medium weight things, and then some common stuff. And so you're going to put out cards equal to the number of players plus 1. And when the game begins, you're going to turn over half of those, round it up, and flip the timer over. Now, if this timer ever runs out, you lose the game. So players are going to be taking turns as fast as they can. Players are going to have a handful of cards from this deck. They're going to start with 6 cards, and you'll draw back up to 6 at the end of your turn, or anyone's turn, actually. Most of the time, these are going to be different ingredients that you need, and there's also going to be action cards. So on your turn, when it's your turn, you can fulfill an order if you have the things. So I have chicken, but I need a taco, pizza, and a burger. Well, I don't have any of that stuff. Actually, I don't have anything to fulfill any of those 3 guys' orders. You can also play an action card, exchange 2 cards with another player. Another player can discard up to 3 cards. Choose another player to play next instead of the person after you. Each player gives 1 card to the player on their right. And then an important one, and there's several of these in a deck, turn the hourglass over. Of course, you don't want to play that, too early, but at some point you're going to want to turn the hourglass over to keep it going. So you can fulfill a customer's order, you can play an action card, or you can simply discard and draw from the decks, trying to get what the cards you need. So maybe I'm like, all right, I don't need that action card, so I discard it, and then I draw a burger. Oh, good. Now I'm on my way. Of course, players have to have communication with each other. Once they fulfill a customer, the next one is revealed. To win the game, all you have to do is fulfill all of them. The problem is, as you're discarding cards, if the draw pile ever runs out, then you will simply take the discard pile, flip it over to make the new draw pile, but then add another customer to the line. So each time you go through the draw pile, if you go too quickly, you're going to add more customers, which will take the game longer. Feed all the customers and you win, have the timer run out, and you lose. You can make it harder or easier. You can make it easier by giving yourself a few strikes if the timer runs out. And so you start with a 3-star rating, and when you finish the game, it's how many times the timer runs out. Or you can make it harder by saying once you played the action cards, they go away forever. That's how you play. Well, this game definitely has a silly theme to it. It's about feeding animals or monsters as fast as you can, fast food, pizza and donuts and ice cream. And I like the artwork. I also thought it was really easy to distinguish between the different things. Like if you needed a taco, you knew what you had to get. Did you like the artwork and things?
Yeah, it was really simple artwork, and it worked for the game.
Now, the game it's a cooperative game. So you're working together, and it's interesting because it has this really unique mechanism of a timer that's being flipped. And you need to flip the timer quickly before it runs out. But you don't want to flip it too quickly. You want to almost let time run out and then flip the timer so that things can keep going.
But you don't want to wait too long or it will run out because some other people don't go fast.
Okay, well this is the crux of whether you'll like the game or not, I think.
Yep.
Because the game is really group dependent. Because on your turn, you are doing something very quickly. Mm-hmm. But if you're playing with someone who does not do things very quickly, you may want to strangle them over the course of the game. Do you feel like that's accurate?
Yes.
Because if you don't know what else to do, you should discard a card and draw one. The problem that is that when you run into that person, they will get more frustrated as people yell at them. So I think I would feel out the people in the group first. What did you think about the cooperative speed part?
I thought that was actually really fun having to yell out, because that's what you do in a speed game. You yell, you don't talk to each other. But like you're yelling at each other which stuff you have, and trying to make it clear which card you're doing, because I've learned that if you keep quiet, someone will do your card, and then you find out you have a whole bunch of food that you're not going to use.
Right, yeah, you need to claim and say, this is the one I'm working on. Although, honestly, a lot of the cards, you really need the thing at the top. There's a few sushis in the deck. There's a few of the expensive foods. If you're going to do it, there's only, right. So if there's only that one sandwich or a couple sandwiches in the deck, and that's the only food you're looking for, you need to figure it out. And people should use the special cards to get that. Now, I wonder that there might be too many special cards in the deck. Did you? Because there were times I get a whole handful of special cards. And I can use these cards to make people switch cards and everything, but it seems there's a variant in the rules where you can take the special cards out after they've been used, which makes the game harder, but I think might be a better way to play it. Overall, what did you think?
I thought it was really simple. For me, I don't know, it slightly annoyed me in a bit. I don't know what exactly annoyed me about the game.
I know.
It could have been the slow player. But also at the same time, it felt like I've played this game before, because like the type of game where you're trying to be fast with other players. The Time Fuse was the game?
You're right.
It had that feel, but with cards instead of dice. And usually cooperative speed games, I'm not a big fan of. I learned that with Escape, so.
Escape. I actually like cooperative speed games. I thought that this one was a good one. I like the theme a lot. I like everyone's working together, and I don't think it outstays its welcome. The box here says 15 minutes, and that seems very reasonable. And it's really easy to make the game harder or easier. You know, you can add more or subtract customers as time goes by. And I don't know, I thought it was intriguing and fast, but there's not a lot there. And Melody says she thinks she's seen it before. That's true. There are other games that do things very similarly to this. What would you rate it?
Probably like a 5.
Okay, I would give it a 6.5, because I think it's a little fast and fun, and I think it's something that the whole family would like. That's Fast Food Fear. I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Melody.
And you've been watching Double Trouble.
Boom.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.